for my dad. And my dad took one bite, and the only thing out of his mouth, the first and only thing out of his mouth, was, "This isn't like my mom makes." Now you've met my mother, most of you. She's very meek. She's very quiet. But she told me this. She said, "Son," she said, "it was everything that I could do to keep from taking that pie and putting it in his face." She said, "Don't ever do that." To Linda. My mom is good to pray for me. I can count, in every conversation I have, she ends the conversation, "I prayed for you today." She'll call me sometime, probably today or tomorrow, and she'll say, I was praying for you." My mom prays for me. My mom, in every card she sends to me, or sends birthday card, or any kind of card for a holiday, or any card for my wife, or any card for my kids, she not only sends a card, but she sends a verse. She types it out. She can work on the computer, but she could burn up an IBM Selectric typewriter. And she's still got one at home. And so I can count on, every time in a card, a verse for that particular occasion to remember, encouraging me to serve the Lord, encouraging me to follow God, encouraging me to keep my life where it ought to be. She's good. She's a good mom. And by the way, there are a lot of good moms in this room here today. And I commend you. Be good to your family. Be good to your children. Because children find out how to be good to their children by watching your example, by following your lead. The Bible says, "Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good." And I'm sure your children have tasted of the goodness. Not just the things you cook, but they've seen the goodness of your life. The Bible says in verse 10, "The young lions do lack and suffer hunger, but they that seek the Lord shall not want any good thing." Here's another thing about moms. They will go to the lengths of the earth to provide what you need. This is what's normal motherhood. Now they will do it at their own expense. In other words, if it's the kids are going to have something, that's fine. They may do without an outfit for 3 or 4 years, but their kids are going to have. They may do without something else that they would really like, but their kids are going to have. They are providers. Their kids aren't going to lack. They make sure they have food. They make sure they have clothes. They make sure they have the supplies they need for school. They make sure that they have everything, all the things that go with life. They are providers. And yes, the dad has something to do with that, and that's fine. I understand that. But moms are concerned about the needs of their children, just like God provides our daily needs. Aren't you glad to know that you have somebody besides God who wants the best for your life and who looks to meet the needs of your life, provide for you? Verse 11 says, "Come, ye children, hearken to me, I will teach you the fear of the Lord. What man is he that desireth life and loveth many days that he may see good? Keep thy tongue from evil and thy lips from speaking guile. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it." Moms are peaceful individuals. My mom is a very meek person. The word meekness relates to gentleness. I'm blessed because not only do I have a mother that is that way, but I also have a mother-in-law that is that way. I can't tell jokes like other men do about their mother-in-laws. I mean this, and I'm not. And this is not an overstatement. This is just straightforward. I have never in all of my relationship with my mother-in-law had one crossword in my entire 33 years of marriage. This July. Actually, yesterday was 33 years that my wife and I were engaged. I have that etched in my ring. And I usually remember that every year. 33 years, never one crossword ever with my mother-in-law. So she was. Just a very quiet, very peaceful individual. My mom, the same. Never have a crossword. Now, I butted heads plenty with my father-in-law and with my dad, but not my mom and not my mother-in-law. See, that's the side of God that is so endearing. He says that He will give us the peace of God which passeth all understanding. Sometimes I look at my mom and look at my mother-in-law and I just shake my head. The way they live is so calm and so peaceful and so serene. And though I don't always accomplish that, that's how I want to live my life. I want to live my life peaceful and calm and serene. I'm glad I have a good example. And hopefully wives and mothers, you'll create that atmosphere in the home. Children need peace. God's children, we need peace. But children at home need peace. Hey, there's enough chaos out there. We need it in our homes. In verse 17, the Bible says, "The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth and delivereth them out of all their troubles. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth them out of them all. He keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken. Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. The Lord redeemeth the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust in him shall be desolate." Mothers are people of compassion, caring. The Bible tells us, "Casting all your care upon him, for he" what? "He careth for you." When I think of my mom, I think of somebody who cares. She wants to know about what's going on in my life. Always has. And I've always had an open line of communication with my mom. I probably talk to my mother more than I do my own dad. So usually I just call my mom, okay? And she says, "Do you want to talk to your dad?" And so, yeah, I'll talk to Dad. But Dad's a little more busy, okay? And Dad's a little shorter in conversation. Moms want to listen. Moms will sit and listen to it all. You know, Dad will say, "Oh, keep the faith," you know, just. And I try my best with my kids. You know, I think I got that from my dad. I'm just not one to stay on the phone long. Even with my daughter, I don't know. It's just something. Maybe it's just how we're molded. But my mom can sit and listen to conversations, and we'll just. It's almost like if I start to shut the conversation down, she's disappointed. She wants to talk. Do you understand that God likes that too? He wants to hear us. He wants our conversation. And He cares. I'm glad that God cares for me. I'm glad He redeemed me, and glad He died for me, and glad He did all those things to provide salvation for me. Moms can't provide that for us. But they can provide a care that nobody else but God can give. Father, thank you so much for godly mothers. Lord, that we have so many different mothers in this room today. And Lord, that every one of them are special. Many of them have their kids with them, or grandkids, or great-grandkids with them today. I pray that you would help each of them to take something from this message this morning, something from your word this morning, that they can apply to their own life, thinking of their children and the influence that they have upon them. One day this script will be written, describing them at a funeral. Perhaps even in life, maybe in some other venue, some other event, they'll have their children with an opportunity to be able to speak about them. May each of them consider those characteristics that are so much like you. And may they work at trying to perfect those things in their own life, that they might be the mothers that you would have them to be to their children. Thank you for my godly mother today. Thank you for my godly mother-in-law today. Thank you for my wife. Thank you for my daughters who are such wonderful mothers. And thank you for the mothers in this church. None of us are perfect. And by no means are any of these ladies perfect, and they know that. You're the only one that truly is perfect. And so we ask that we would look to you, all of us as an example, and may we as men be thankful for the wives that we have, the influence they've had on our children, the far-reaching effect that they have had in not only our community, our church, and it's all because of you. Again, we thank you for your love. Let's stand. Doug has chosen a song of invitation. Perhaps